All right, welcome into the BFR podcast presented by Sports Mockery. Bears versus Packers, Week 18. It went exactly kind of how it probably should have went, honestly. The Bears got killed in the trenches. Similar to Week 1, it's honestly just a disappointing loss all around. I'm joined by my co-host, Ficky. First of all, you can follow the pod on all socials at BFR_pod. Follow Ficky, it's Ficky Baby on all socials, and myself at Dave_BFR. But it's a tough loss, man. Lots I want to say. We're going to get into it. But if you're joining us for the first time, go ahead and hit that like button on YouTube or Apple, Spotify listeners. Appreciate you too. Ficky, man, it's almost like we went back in time to Week 1. I kind of tweeted which loss was worse, Week 1 or today. So first of all, how are you feeling, man?
I mean, I'm feeling like probably every Bears fan out there right now, like dog shit, bro. Like you lose against the momentum has been high. This team had the opportunity to do something fantastic, end it on a high note, but you go into Lambeau and you do the same thing that you've done since 2015, and that's fucking know how to lose a fucking football game. So we lost to them. At the end of the day, the Packers are the better team. We both predicted we would lose, right? We expected that. It's just like when reality hits, it just, it's like a gut punch, right? It's like someone just stomped my chest in. It doesn't feel good. So at the end of the day, this team started 0-4. Okay. 0-4. We never had a chance from the playoffs from the beginning. That is so hard to come back from that. Then they kind of went on a run, did their thing, played some great ball. And then really, even up to this game, like if we win this game, it's a whole different story. We are on top of the world. We think, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. You want to keep Fields, blah, blah, blah. But one game with our rival has so much emotional impact on this team and this franchise, not even just us as fans, but within the organization, that when we lose to them, which we do so often, it really feels like it feels the worst. It feels like utter shit. And we're back here again talking about the same thing over and over and over again. So the crazy thing about this game is the three questions of like, what do we do with like quarterback, offensive coordinator, head coach, maybe offensive coordinators answered, but like, I'm still like, I don't know, because Fields didn't go out there. When some games we were like, bro, you were just garbage. You're holding on to the ball too long. You're not making the right looks. No, Nate Davis went out early. Dan Feeney was in at center. Interior line was god awful. Man got sacked. Tons of pressures in his face. So I just ran on this because I walk away and I go, okay, I still understand why if you want to go Caleb, you'll get Caleb. But I look at this and go, we didn't lose.
No. Yeah, I see people victory lapping right now, like the people that wanted Caleb Williams, and that's totally fine. The Bears are going to do what they're going to do no matter what we think. But at the end of the day, it just feels weird to me. Like I see tweets like, oh, Caleb Williams, this is why we're, going to get Caleb. It's going to fix everything. No, I mean, Justin was put today. Like, I don't think a lot of quarterbacks thrive under what kind of transpired. First of all, they were out-coached. Matt LaFleur, masterclass. Even Joe Barry, who, I mean, was on the hot seat this week or last couple weeks, and he kind of played pretty well, or he called a really good game as well. But it's the line, offensive line. It was the defensive line too, for the most part, because there's not a lot of pressure from Montez Sweat and company. All in all, it's just like they got killed in the trenches. And you talk about it all the time, Ficky, about like the game is won in the trenches. And that's what you saw again, similar to Week 1, where we got pushed around. Obviously, this week it wasn't as bad, but nonetheless, it wasn't all on Justin. Now, he didn't help his case today, especially heading into the offseason. But at the end of the day, it's like there's still a lot more to improve in regards to this roster. And it's just, even the defense kind of gave up a lot of chunk plays. Matt Eberflus has been like on a roll for the most part, but Jordan Love, I mean, hats off to him. That fucking dude
balled out.
He's
been looking great. Throwing.
But at the same time, he has a better offensive line. He has a better coach, better offensive. I mean, he got to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, one of the best to ever do it. And I'm not going to take anything away from Jordan Love because he definitely earned it. And I don't even know if he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm not going to get into the details, but I'm like, he is a franchise quarterback. And we saw that today. Like 300 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. But again, the scenarios between Justin and him today, he barely got touched. Justin was, and I know he holds onto the ball. I get that, but it's like Tevin Jenkins got beat twice, which is unreal. Doesn't happen a lot. He had 1 sack going into this game. Ficky, he gave up 1 sack the entire year. He gave up 2 today.
Yeah.
Fields was sacked, what, 5 or 6 times?
Well, one of them, I think you would got
Shitty
help from
performance
Dan Feeney on the side, right? Because he does do a swim, but you would expect that your center would be able to move over to help. But I don't know. Yeah, the O-line did not look good. We were missing some pieces. I don't care. We have a Pro Bowler who did not play. JJ was out. I don't care what you say. That matters.
Huge
right?
loss. Huge
Right.
loss.
And to be honest, the defense, bend don't break. We've seen this before. Another game, right? That's 5 games in a row. They've only allowed 17 points or less, 20 points or less. And ironically, in all those games where they've allowed that least amount of points, they actually have won them. This is the first one where they gave up 17 and lost. So kind of crazy. I mean, it's just against your rival, the Packers. And because no questions were answered, I feel like that's why we kind of feel the way we do, because this offseason, even now, like our group chat, like the back and there's so many discourse on like what to do and what's the reasonings behind why this team doesn't win. Like it's about to be a long offseason. And I was hoping that we'd get a win, not only for like, you know, to get a win, because obviously we want to beat the Packers, but to kind of like die down the conversation and kind of be like, you know, I think this is the way we're going to go.
This is the perfect outcome for moving on for Justin Fields, because here's the thing. Looking at the stats, he was 11 for 16, 148 yards. There wasn't a single pass in the third quarter. That crazy. Little caveat in there. What the fuck? Like you running it up the middle as many times as they did. While I was trying to count, I was at like 10.
Almost second. I'm saying every second down is when they did. It feels second and long. Yeah. It was the inside run to the inside, and I'm like, again, that's literally where our players are out. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah, if we're picking up on that, I mean, look at Green Bay. They were all over it, but it's like 11 for 16. He was held for he had 148 passing yards. So it's like that right there is ammo enough for the people that want him gone, and they have a right to, like, they have a right, because Caleb Williams is a very, very good passer. It's very similar, or it's opposite of like Justin as far as like how good of a passer he truly is. If there was like, I know the generational tag is thrown out there, but I believe that part that part of Caleb's game is already probably above Justin, but I don't think he would thrive in today's in the environment for today. Like, because
here's my thing though,
Justin was running for his life.
Yeah, if you pick up Caleb Williams and dropped him in today, and how much protection or lack there he had, or weapons, like I'm not saying Caleb wouldn't like maybe got a touchdown here or there. Maybe he pulls off maybe that pass to Komet down the sideline, which wasn't that bad of a pass, but you know what I mean? And we get one extra touchdown, right? Maybe that's the case. But let's not act like, if you were against Fields prior to this game doesn't move the needle to make you more against. It doesn't make it pro Fields either. The game was like Fields did the best he could in this situation. Yeah. And that's what we have. But we ran the ball so much in the third quarter. Like, if you only I'm sorry, I don't care what quarterback I have. You only pass the ball once in the third quarter. How do I explain?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. They were getting killed in the trenches, man. It was almost like, I understand. I know Luke Getsy and everything, but it's like, maybe roll him out, move the pocket, because it was just, he was like dead to rights sometimes. And some of those plays where it was Tevin Jenkins, Braxton Jones, Brandon Jones, according to Tony Romo. That's another fucking thing. Like, Tony Romo, I used to love listening to his games, and maybe this is just because he was calling the Bears game, but holy shit, it was like Jordan Love couldn't do any wrong. And he had a great game. I give him that. But it's like, I could not stand listening. I almost had to mute the game. But I wanted to bring up what was it? It was a tweet here from We Need Depth. It's from Riss on Twitter. We need depth in the offensive line. And I think that's, oh my God, it's spot on. You saw it today with the injuries. First of all, they need a center so bad. Like our center, bad. I think it was not Lucas Patrick. It was Feeney, killed a drive because of that bad snap that ended in the sack. And I think we got a field goal and whatnot. But either way,
I think all 3 sacks that happened that killed the drive
on third down.
First, all third down. And then most of them were from the interior. That, like, interior sacks are the hardest, because with Fields, right, if you look at his big runs and how he extends plays, it's because he's able to evade the outside and move inside and get around. But when the inside closes in on you, you can't step up. And then you try to run outside, and that's where you get tackled. You saw 2 of his sacks. Literally, he had to, like, he tried to step up and literally had to eat it. Like, there's a photo of him with, like, 4 Packers tackling him as he's trying to, like, mitigate the loss of a sack on third down. We lost like 2 yards or something like that. So yes, I mean, to be fair, Nate Davis did go out. I promise you, Nate Davis is in there. That does help, right? Even though he didn't have a fantastic season. Lucas Patrick, which we already are like, we need a new center. He's much more serviceable than Dan Feeney was. So we're down to our third center. Kenny Clark had a field day, and a lot of the other interior linemen. So overall, I mean,
does Kenny Clark play like this every week? Because when he plays the Bears,
he's older.
It's like he's the fucking Hulk, man. It is impressive how well he plays against the Bears.
Ficky, the whole team does. The whole Packers team, they all step up.
It's true. But anyways, I know a lot of the talk will be Justin Fields. We have your voicemails that we're going to get to. You guys sent in a ton, so stick around to kind of listen to that. There's a lot of good ones, I'm sure. My uncle even texted me, he sent one in. So a lot of F-bombs. But again, Justin Fields, I'm going to go over the stats here, Ficky. I want to kind of, there's going to be a lot of negativity on this episode, post-game show. First of all,
bad.
Justin Fields was 11 for 16, 148 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles. Khalil Herbert, 12 carries, 28 yards, averaged 2.3 yards a carry. The fucking trenches. That's what I'm trying to say here. It is so sad. Roschon Johnson, 5 carries, 20 yards. Justin Fields, 8 carries, 27 yards. DJ Moore still had a decent game, 4 receptions, 64 yards. Cole Kmet was the second leading receiver on the Bears, 3 receptions, 41 yards. I don't know how you feel, Fick. I don't feel like he was still 100% healthy. He still had that amazing catch. I don't know how he held on to that one in the second quarter. Hell of a catch. EQ, St. Brown, he had 1 reception, 18 yards. Again, you see the drop-off here. Tyler Scott, 1 reception, 12 yards. Herbert, 2 receptions, 13 yards. Outside of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, like there was nobody. And Kmet, I think, was still around 80%. He's a tough son of a bitch, like playing through all those injuries.
That's been the case all season. Yeah. It's been DJ Moore, which has been fantastic. And then his next guy has been Cole Kmet. And then after that, there's literally nobody. So, because Mooney obviously wasn't in this game, but he was basically non-existent all season. And Tyler Scott's a rookie wide receiver, so I'm not like putting too much on him. So he's what, a 5th round, 4th round rookie wide receiver. So I'm not expecting him to have an 800-yard season game or something like that. But the point is like the people that have been good on offense were good this time. The only difference from this game and the other ones before.
Did you see that? We have a comment here. Screenplay on 3rd and 20, and Justin
which didn't even work. Which it was fine. I don't think he would have got yards anyways, but he had to throw it high because that the DN came over and jumped, and so we had to throw it over it. But yeah, again, the trenches on both sides is why we lost this game. We obviously know on the defensive side, like, Montez has had a great season, so I'm not like saying, wow, Montez lost this game. He did. We already knew there need to be improvements on the defensive line, so like this is just another game where we know that, right? We know we're missing 1 or 2 more pieces on that on the defensive line. And then on the offensive line, it's the same thing. We knew that we need depth, right? That's because the offensive line gets injured all the time. Like that's just the sport. And then we obviously know we need a new center. So like this game, all it did was the issues we had before, it just kind of brought him back to life and be like, hey, look, these are the same issues. Don't forget it. Even though you guys have been playing well, don't forget you still need another pass rusher. You need another center, right? And then also not having JJ, I don't care. You don't have JJ out there who's been a top 5 corner.
Got torched.
Once that news
this
happened,
defense got torched on some plays.
Yeah, once that news came out, I was like, oh yeah, we're probably not going to win this one. So and look, and credit to the rookie corners. They're rookie corners, right? So like they didn't have
Tyreek Steven. That's what I say. Like as far as game balls go, Tyreek Stevenson, what a game! What a game! Like first of all, high IQ on that 10.5 where he kept them in balance or forward progress essentially, going backwards and that ended up saving 3 points there. And then he had the fumble, which I mean, still a good play. He missed the tackle there. He missed the tackle. Like I was watching it back. I posted it on Twitter. I was like, he hit the ball with his helmet. Awesome. But like, say that he doesn't fumble there. Jordan Love, 1, gets the first down, and 2, it's a terrible miss. You got to light him up. But anyways, it worked out. I just thought overall he had a really good game. Early on, he had that touchdown saving where he kind of kept fighting on the play, punched it out. And I think it was Romeo Doubs. I think he was out the rest of the game. But I can't believe how good the Packers receiving core is, dude. Like, they have so many players. Like, it's just like they just kept on bringing out.
Yeah,
like,
But I think it's
playmakers.
more. I think it's more of a system. Like I'm not taking away from, but it's not like they
Yeah.
had one guy who just dominated. It's not like a Justin Jefferson where you're like, oh my gosh, no. That a lot of that is scheme. Matt LaFleur
Uh-huh.
schemes. You look at some of them; they're wide open. So I don't look and go, wow, what a wide
Yeah.
receiver. You're wide open. The wheel route that I can't remember who it was on the Packers. That was wide open. He got big yards there. The
Yeah.
Jaden Reed
It was
one,
coming
that
very
big
easy
post.
to, yeah.
Yeah, the post, and now Jordan Love did make some good throws. Don't get me wrong, but the big post to Jaden Reed, like I was like, you're wide open. So there were so many times where it's like you were schemed open, which is great for them. But I don't look at that and go, wow, these wide receivers are just like dominating us. That wasn't it. It was more of like that offensive scheme was cutting up our defense. But you know what's crazy? Even with all that, Jordan Love had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, right? We held them to 17 points. So at the end of the day, without JJ, right, with the lack of the pressure, they still only gave up 17 points. In today's NFL, that's a winnable game. So I go and look at this game and I say, the defense didn't lose this. They got a turnover. They made put them in field goals, right? Held them from touchdowns. But instead, the issue was the offense, a team that's been really good with the run this year. That's us. Khalil Herbert having back-to-back 100-yard games, right? Could not run the ball on this team. Outside, inside, nada. So then it's like, okay, we can't run the ball, so let's try passing. We try passing. Well, Fields gets about 2 seconds to throw the ball because the interior line can't block worse shit in this game. And so you look at that, and it's just a recipe for mess. I'm actually surprised Fields even got some of the play. He extended some plays on his own. That rollout where he, roll out to the left and then found Kmet on a dot, like a 30-yard dot. Like those are the plays we're talking about. He had, in my opinion, he made more big plays today than bad plays. And so it's not enough for me to move the needle to be like, oh, we have to keep him. But if I'm already on the keep field side, the needle didn't move because he didn't do anything bad. He did the best he could in this situation. It just sucks more. And I think people are more mad because it's the Packers and we could have knocked him out. If this was any other team,
yeah, man, we knew that
played like this.
Yeah. No, but it's the end of the year too. It's
Yes,
it could have been a poetic. You could have finished the season and righted the wrong that was week 1. Simple as that. Instead, you shit the bed. 3 field goals. Shout out to Cario Santos.
Go.
But at the end of the day,
I think he broke Robbie Gould's record for 34 kicks, 34
most
makes.
field goals. What was it? Most field goals in a Bears season, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And Robbie had the other 2, which is crazy, which makes sense. Robbie's a GOAT, but yeah, Cairo's been balling for sure.
At the end of the day, it's such a disappointing fucking loss. It is so bad. However, the Bears now have the 1st and 10th pick in the NFL draft.
Woo, woo, let's go. We'll take that.
I'm sorry.
Bittersweet.
I'm sorry.
1st and 9, right? Yeah.
1st and 9th pick.
Yes.
I got that one wrong. It's kind of crazy.
Which, we had 9 last year, right? We traded to 11 and picked Darnell. So, there's going to be great talent within that. Yeah. I mean, it's top 10 of an NFL draft. And like we said, we trust Poles on what he's done so far that I'm super excited about that. The 9 pick, I'm super excited about. The 1 pick, I have no idea. I don't know if I'm excited.
Here's the thing. I said it earlier, before the game. I said, because a lot of people were talking about, about Fields and how I really think the best route to go is to build around him, just to trade back, get another haul. You can't go wrong here. I think Caleb Williams is a very, very good player. Could be very, very good, if not great. And then you reset the quarterback clock. There's so many routes to success for this Bears team. But if Caleb is the starter next year, week 1, I'm going to be just as hyped if Justin's there. Simple as that, man. No matter how I feel, I just want the team to win. And at the end of the day, it's just like today would have been great to end the Packers season. However, we're going to be watching the playoffs and they're going to be in it. And that's just always going to piss me off, personally. So much success for them every single year, it seems like, outside of last year where they got, beat by the Lions. But Ficky, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you moving right now? Caleb, I'm saying just put you on the spot here.
I'm talking to you. No.
Are you moving? I'm seeing right now as I talk, Greg Braggs Jr. just tweeted a highlight tape of Caleb Williams. I've seen it around a couple times here. What are you doing right now?
Man, that is so tough because I'm gonna first say this. I have not watched. I'm not a scout. I don't know Caleb Williams as a prospect like that. I'm trusting other NFL people who that's their realm. I'm going off of what they're giving, right? And so I understand that Caleb is a very good prospect, right? My only concern, right? And this doesn't even have to do with Fields. Like, even if it was another person or if I wasn't a Fields fan, right? Is you're taking a risk and the risk is very high with that pick compared to, right? You said it. I've said it multiple times. You know what you have with player X, right? Fields. You don't know what you have with new player that you bring in. That's with every player you draft, whether it's Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, any of them. You don't know because they've never stepped foot on an NFL field. They are prospects for a reason. They are prospects until proven otherwise, right? So the concern is for me is that you know what you can get with Fields. And if you bring in someone who can, let's say, I don't know, roll Fields out or build an offense that's more, in tune with Fields, maybe you get the best out of him, right? Coaching will help improve that. Maybe that's the better route than taking a risk on that quarterback. Because even if you take that risk, right? Like, I look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was definitely one, like, if you want to talk about Caleb Williams generational, right? I think Trevor Lawrence was in that same realm, right? Neither of them were Andrew Luck generational, how the talk was.
Yeah,
Like,
but Fields is 1B.
No, I know.
This whole
No,
entire,
I'm saying, but I'm saying though, if I'm going to, other than the resetting the contract, like the QB contract, I get that, the rookie contract, you could take a risk, right, on someone who's the same level as like Fields or Trevor Lawrence, or it could even be worse. It can be. I don't have that answer. I have no idea. But because of that, because I don't necessarily trust this organization either with how they've picked quarterbacks in the past, because they've never hit on them so far, right? This is the best quarterback situation that I have seen in this organization. I still feel more confident with Fields than I ever felt with Cutler. Cutler even had more weapons, but like as a leader and as a person, I was like, you're not taking us to the promised land. You're crazy, right? So because of that, I'm more scared and I play more of a conservative route. Let me stick with something I know, trade that first back and get a haul and build around what I know. But if you were to argue, go get that generational prospect, let's go with Caleb Williams. He could be, how CJ Stroud was this year. I totally understand. And if that happens, like you said earlier, I'm all for it. That means the Bears are winning. That means we're beating the Packers. I don't give a fuck. That's great. Like, I'm here for it. But I have no faith in the history of this organization, them making that choice and getting it right. Maybe Poles is that guy because we have talked highly of him. I've talked highly of him. Maybe this is the guy that I should have faith in to make that quarterback decision. But I don't know. So because of that, I would say stick with what I know and draft Fields. Stick with what I know, trade back that first pick and draft like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or something like that instead of using that first pick on Caleb Williams. How do you feel?
I mean, to be honest, man, I'm just kind of I don't even care right now. It's like it's going to be such a long offseason. I'll be excited either way, whatever direction they go. I think Fields. This loss. We said it before. If it was a close game and they lost, maybe we could be an easier like pill to swallow. But it's like they didn't get blown out like week one, but it was such a uninspiring performance from the offensive side and the defense. Say what we want, they kind of kept us in it for the most part.
I mean, honestly,
until the very end, until they gave up, where they were, because Fields and company could have got the ball. And at the very end and maybe march down and they would have to get a 2-point conversion. But either way, it was such a embarrassing performance, especially from the trenches. Like I said, it's going to be a long off season. However, the Bears this is probably the most pivotal off season in franchise history, like as far as the direction you choose to go. And I'm talking about the quarterback here. Cause like you get Caleb Williams and he falls flat, that could set your franchise back another couple years, another few years, similar to like Trubisky.
No, exactly like that. Like this decision is going to determine. I joked about this, but whether Poles gets a statue built out in front of Hallis Hall or he's out of here in 3-4 years. So it's a big decision.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either, man. So
that's what's up. Yo, Dave, that's why I said to begin. This game didn't move the needle either way. So the same questions we had before, we still fucking have them. And that's what sucks. Because you're just like, we got to go through 5 months of like, what are we going to do?
Real quick, shout out to Leo. He went ahead and gave us $5 super chat, super sticker. No message there, but just wanted to give him some love. We appreciate that. Also, I don't know if anyone's noticed, probably can't tell, but my camera, it kind of broke. So I'm using my laptop computer camera, and it's kind of getting the job done. Ficky says it did. I don't know. But I just want to this is not the typical camera. But Ficky, real quick before I guess we can get to our voicemails because I really am interested in hearing them. But total yards, 432 for the Green Bay Packers, man. Bears had 192.
Yeah. That includes our running. Like
time of possession was actually pretty close. 31 minutes and 24 seconds for the Packers, 28 minutes and 36 seconds for the Bears. But almost double the yards, man. It's crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bend, don't break, bro. I don't like at the end of the day, I don't care about yards because you could put up 400 yards and if you don't score, like your defense did their job. At the end of the day, it's the points. So so I'm like, was the defense perfect? No. But the defense got a turnover. The defense held them to 20 points or less in the modern NFL game. That is a winnable game. And at the end of the day, we still lost by 8. That's it. That's a one possession game. So it didn't feel close because the offense couldn't do much, right? But at the end of the day, the defense did make it a close game. So hats off to Flus again. I guarantee I would be utterly shocked. I would be so shocked if Flus is not back here next year. And I'm not mad about that per se. The question is, though, and you kind of brought this up, if Flus is back, are there other things tied to that? Do you give Flus a defensive coordinator? I think a pretty good one, right? We'll give him credit for that. But do you give him a new rookie quarterback? Right? And then with that, who's calling it?
It all depends. It all depends. It all depends. It all depends on where they go head coach. Like I think Jim Harbaugh would be the only reason Flus is not back next year.
Yes, that'd be it.
That's the only reason. Because Ben Johnson, the OC for the Lions, I don't know if you want to hand that over to a first-time head coach.
No.
I don't think you can go first-time head coach here with the development of Caleb Williams or whoever they choose, Drake May, maybe even Jaden Daniels. For me, it's like if they reset this thing, you cannot go with a guy that has no experience, calling the shots. So for me, I think Flus would come back either way if they can't get Harbaugh, and then he'll probably end up coaching the next quarterback. But Luke Getsy, I'm not so sure either. It is going to be so interesting, man. I wonder if this is going to be like, if these answers are going to be answered like, in the next week, because it's possible. Black Monday's tomorrow.
Yep.
But is Poles going to want to sit on it? How much, input is Kevin Warren going to have here?
Well, speaking of Kevin Warren, this is a perfect transition. Did you see his interview with, I think it was ESPN 1000? I think it was Courtney Cronin before the game. And maybe you can pull it up what I'm talking about, and if not, it's cool. But basically, to give a high level, it very much sounded like he likes the idea of where this team is heading and consistency. So I hear that. And he talked about, right. And he said, look, we said LA, was it LA Rams? It took them like 3 years. And then it was like year 3, they took off. I think he said something along those lines, right? In essence, he's saying we're moving in the right direction. I like what's being built here. Because of that, right? That makes me think, I don't know about Getsy. That's the only one. But it makes me think Poles, Flus.
But even with Luke Getsy today, it's like, the offensive line, we don't know what he was cooking up, right? Because
that's true.
They couldn't block for more than a second sometimes. Like when Tevin Jenkins is getting beat consistently, that's when you know it's going to be a fucking long day. Because he's so good. He was so good all year, and he did. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Probably the worst game of the year. And then you throw in the injuries like you talked about, Ficky, to both the offensive line and then Jalen Johnson, who top 3 corner this year, top 5 corner
easy.
At least.
Top 5 easy, yeah.
Out. I was not confident going into this game and rightfully so. The Packers, I'll never pick the Bears to win, and we got that right. I know we got kind of some comments about, how could you pick the Packers this week? It's like, this is why until the Bears show that they can win against Green Bay, whether it's in Chicago or fucking in Lambeau, I'm never going to pick them. Never.
I can't.
Simple as that.
Can't. Even if it's Caleb Williams next year, I can't.
Aaron Jones could be playing quarterback, and I would still pick. I would still pick the fucking Packers. I have no confidence, man. Either way, I want to give a shout out to everyone. I mean, this is episode 53. A hell of a season, a lot of ups and downs, and here we are again, kind of on the downward spiral here. But it's like the Bears are the draft goes through them. The offseason runs through Chicago once again. It's kind of beautiful. This is going to suck. This loss is going to sting. I'm excited to get to our voicemails, but if you're here for the first time, a lot of new viewers I'm seeing, go ahead and leave a like, sub to the channel. We're going to have some amazing offseason content as far as just guests. More so, we're excited to have a lot of players that are in the draft coming on the show. Just a lot of one-on-one, or actually, I guess, interviews with Ficky and I. A lot kind of planned. So if you want to stick around for that, go ahead. Like I said, sub to the channel. We're almost to 3,000 subs. It's been a hell of a ride. We appreciate everyone that's been around for this season. Yep. It's been crazy, and I appreciate the support. And I know this one sucks, but it's like, hopefully, God willing, next year we're in the playoffs, man. Like, because we were a couple games out of it this year.
I mean, we even this loss, like this is recency bias. Like, we feel like this season sucks because of this game that just happened. But in a week, when we all relax and the emotion has kind of gone out, you take a look at this team, and they won what, 7 games? That's they
7 games, man.
Yeah, +4 on the margin, right? They went from picking number 1, the worst team in the league, to being the 9th worst team in the league. That is a pretty good jump. You jumped 25% in one season, right? Imagine what you can do the following year with even more ammo, more weapons at your pleasure. Like, it's going to be amazing. It doesn't mean that we're going to be contenders or things like that. We could, I don't know. It depends what route we go. But the point is that the future is looking bright, and the draft and free agency, I'll
tell you what as well. The Bears, I mean, Jalen Johnson's going to have so much leverage now.
Oh yeah.
He can show this game and be like, okay, where's the money? Where's the bag? Because you missed him today. Simple as that, man. I don't know why I just thought about it. I'm just like, this is the perfect game for Jalen Johnson right now. Like, if anyone's feeling like a little good, it's like he knows that money's coming, rightfully so. But Ficky, I don't know how you feel, man. I want to get to these voicemails. I'm sure they're going to be crazy.
That's fine. Before we do that, because you did mention new people in here. If you are new, again, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support and hopping in. Please give a hashtag new face gang in the chat. And if you're an OG in here, who I know there's a bunch of you guys are leading the conversations in the chat, which is actually fantastic because you guys are having debates in there. I can't even keep up, but thanks for the interactions there. Please give a hashtag OG. We will go ahead and give you a shout out to everyone who does the hashtag OG, hashtag new face gang before the end of the show. So appreciate y'all tuning in. But yeah, we can go ahead and pull open these.
Now, again, if they get a little crazy, which, I mean, this is probably going to be event session. We'll probably have to call them off. But like I said, we're excited for everyone that kind of called in and left their voicemails. It's kind of fun to see it, hear everyone else. We're not the only ones pissed off. So, Ficky, if you want to go
absolutely, we're going to go. Yep, we'll go with the halftime ones first, and then we'll finish off with the end of the game voicemails. But this first one here is from Ashika.
Watching this game, all I've got to say is that this defensive line is making it way too easy for Love to throw these passes. Every single one is like 15 yards easy. And you know what? There's no pressure. And I got to say, like, Jalen Johnson is out and Whitehair's in. But, there's just absolutely no pressure. And it's just sad to see this in the last game. And, the last play of the second half or the first half, we were just lucky there. Like, that's just the Packers sucking. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I mean, this defensive line is it's really disappointing.
Oh, you're muted, Ficky.
My bad. Look at that.
Next one.
Look, that's normally you, but I'm following suit. But yeah, I mean, that was spot on. So there was no pass rush at all. We're gonna go to Brock here. But thank you, Ashika.
Okay, Justin Fields. We need a little bit more out of you. Holy dog shit fucking Matt LaFleur clock management at the end of the first half. Fucking dog shit ass, like typical dog shit. Surprised I haven't seen fucking bullshit Packers refs who are fucking doing the Lambeau Leap today. So let the boys play. The offense needs to step the fuck up. The defense can only do so much. I've seen this 100 fucking times before. Like, the boys need to do something on offense. The defense will do what they can do. We gotta capitalize. Bear down.
I think you tweeted about it, Dave. The refs weren't that bad today. This may have been one of the best refs.
Well, this was halftime.
Oh, okay.
You remember? So, I mean, but yeah, the second half, they were kind of cooking as far as the Bears goes. I'm not used to that at all. So,
no, not at all. Not at all. Thanks for that. We're going to go to Dom.
Honestly, bro, could be worse, but every time we go against the Packers, we just fucking forget how to play football. I don't understand.
I think that was Dom from our group chat too.
Yeah,
shout out to Dom.
Maybe that's funny. We do forget how to play ball. But here we go. Drew next.
So
Facts.
I think that was a poorly played half by the Bears. Not terribly played, but not good. Being down 7-6 is a blessing. I think there's some work to do in the second half. A little worried about the defense. Got to sharpen some things up. Luckily, I think Flus will. Offensively, got to get the run game figured out. Not doing too much. I think it'll open up play action for Fields and really just let Fields cook. Let him do what he does best. Kind of improvise, make plays.
Well said.
Yep. Well said.
I'm ready to get to these. I want these post-game reactions. I'm very, very curious to see how these sound.
Yeah, they are about to be crazy. Here's the last halftime one, though. Here's Chris.
The Bears. Let's go. 7-6 halftime. I love it. We're beating the Packers today. Let's do it. Boys, Fields is going to come out running. Second half, I'm sure of it. It's going to be the second half, totally lopsided to the Bears. Bears 21-20. Green Bay 7.
Man, who wants to tell him?
Yeah,
I'm hoping he turned off his TV.
All right, let's go to these are the post-game ones. I'm sure these are going to be fantastic. But thank you to everyone that did send in the halftime ones. It's actually nice to see some positive. There's some positive takes in there, so I appreciate that. We're not going to get that here, though. So let's go to this first one. Here's from Brandon.
Get Getsy out of Chicago. He's awful. Can't call a game. He's just horrendous. Doesn't let Justin Fields do anything. Doesn't throw a pass in the third quarter. Awful. Awful. Get him out of Chicago.
I felt like there was like a break in his voice. Like he meant every word he said there.
I'm telling you, these are emotional voicemails. I'm very sure of that. We're going to go to Bryce next.
Damn. Listen, man. Let me turn this shit off, bro. How the fuck I turn this shit off, bro? These niggas pissing me the fuck off right now, man. Only got 90 seconds. But Luke Getsy gotta go. That was obvious. Justin, if he makes that pass to who, I don't know who it was, I think it was Komet in the end zone. That's a touchdown. He missed that pass. I don't want to blame this win on him, but we say that about every single game. Every single game is, I don't want to blame Justin. But it's like, it gets tiring, bro. It's so tiring, bro. And I'm sick of it. I love Justin, but he has to go. And it pains me to say that. But he has to go. You know, I heard someone say earlier in the week we should, draft a quarterback. Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, we could go down in the draft, get a decent wide receiver, Malik Neighbor, I don't know. But we need a quarterback, bro. And I hate to say that. Or we could, get Joe Flacco. I don't know. Whatever. If y'all still listen to this,
Joe Flacco. Hey, appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Brett. Yeah, he's just going through, but that's where a lot of us are at. There's no questions answered, so we don't know what we're supposed to do.
Luckily, on that real quick before the next one, Cole Kmet, I think Fields was a tad late. I know he's escaping, extending the play, but just a tad late, man. Hell of a play by the Packers DB too, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's go to JC.
There are more than a few games this season that you've watched and been like, damn, this is probably the most disappointing loss of the season. You have week 4 against the Broncos, in which you blow a 21-point lead. You have what could have been the first statement win of Eberflus's career against the Lions. You have blowing it again to the Browns, but once again, here we are in week 18, and I'm still saying I think this is the most disappointing loss that I've seen this season, just because it could be Fields' last game. It could be, some of our coaching staff's last game. You don't know whose last game it's going to be. And, clearly some of our players were playing their heart out. Maybe they got a little heated at, probably some actions that they regret. But, it looked like they were really trying, and just to see, the full team not be able to execute both, on the coaching side and on the player side, it sucks, man. It sucks.
Well said.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It
Sucks.
does suck. Yes, it does. Greg,
Getsy has
is
to
up
be
next.
some type of idiot. Just a total sabotage job on Justin Fields. Getsy's playing with 40 cards in his deck. He's got all the jokers, and 20 of those cards are a shotgun toss play, and he just closes his eyes and picks one. I mean, the guy plays Madden on rookie mode and puts on coach suggestions. He's got no clue how to beat the Packers. He's got to be gone. He's got to be gone.
I love the Madden reference. That's rookie mode with coach suggestions. Yeah, that means you don't know ball, buddy. So appreciate that. Was that Daniel or Greg? I can't even remember now. I'm losing track.
I can't even.
Let me see. Well, Daniel's next.
Worst O-line I've seen in my entire fucking life.
Perfect.
Oh, that was it.
Hey, short and sweet, man, but man, was he on point there.
Yes, he was. All right, this one's from Dave.
Hey guys, this is Uncle Dave here. Just putting my tidbits on another Bears, debacle. Every time I let these guys in and get excited about them, they shit the fucking bed. The play calling sucked. When you let Fields throw on early downs, you look pretty fucking good. But, the play calling was horse shit. Run the ball first down, second down, and, creates third and long, and Fields didn't have a chance. But, I still think you run it back with Fields, keep Flus, and, Getsy's got to go. Hey, love you guys' show.
Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, that was my uncle. I didn't recognize his voice at first a little bit. It sounded a little different on the phone. But yeah, I'm surprised he wants to stick with Fields. I'm not surprised. Because he has been saying that. It's just like after this one, I thought maybe he would be like, nope, Caleb Williams. What were you saying, Fick?
No, I was gonna say basically what he said, what he wants to happen. That's I'm in the same boat. So me and Uncle Dave are on the same accord. I think
appreciate
that's,
Uncle Dave.
I can appreciate it. I think it could, I'm cool with all options, but if I had to pick one, that's probably the route I'd go. So thanks, appreciate that. On to Kyle.
I just love how they gave us enough hope to believe that we could win this game, just for us to look like week 1 Chicago Bears. Fire Flus, fire Getsy, fire literally everyone. I'm done. I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh, geez. I mean, okay, I didn't know it was gonna end like that, but yeah, don't do that. And it's just a game. Life is definitely worth living. So great. Now I first want to say thank you for all the voicemails. We'll get better at this. I keep losing track of who I did last, but we'll move on to Luis, I think.
Coordinator and the play calling today has absolutely failed Justin Fields. The offensive line has failed Justin Fields throughout his entire career. And everyone's going to talk about drafting Caleb Williams when we all know that's not going to change a damn thing.
I mean, that's an argument, right? Like, if it's not the quarterback, if he doesn't have a solid line wide receivers, so definitely understand. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, Omni Man said LMFAO the ending. Yeah, that's a way to drop the mic. We'll go to Jerome here.
Today's game was ugly. It was gross watching the offense be incompetent and not be able to protect the quarterback. But this all falls back on Eberflus and Getsy. The team clearly has talent. They were playing above that. That's how they got on this winning streak. They were playing above the scheme. But Getsy and Eberflus have proven over and over and over that they are inept at their jobs, cannot make adjustments, and are consistently coaching scared. Today was a huge example of the problems with both of them. Getsy thinks he's the smartest guy in the room all the time, and Eberflus in big downs, third downs, where we need it, he calls a soft zone that gets torched over and over and over. It's disgusting. I hope our team makes some changes. Whether or not we keep Fields, I'm in favor of keeping him, but I can understand the thought process of getting rid of him. But he's shown improvement. There's no guarantee we get that with the next guy.
Well said.
Also, I want to say I think Flus's defense, if he has a pass rush, those soft zones don't get beat so easily because they sit there. And I mean, we led the team in interceptions, so he's obviously doing something right. But I totally understand your sentiment because, yeah, we do give up some big third down plays. Okay, on to Max.
All right. I don't care. The result's the result. You go into Lambeau and lose like that in week 18. This is the kind of game you fire everyone. I don't care how good the defense has looked for the last 10 weeks. You fire everybody. It's just unbelievable. From the play calling offensively and defensively, we thought we could go into Lambeau against a first-year starter and play soft zone for 60 minutes and win. I mean, it literally just sounds like we're trying to lose. Fields had maybe 25 dropbacks, 16 attempts, like 5 rushes ish. Got sacked 5 or 6 times. I mean, what do you expect? It's the same old shit. I don't know what to think. You got to start with firing everybody, and then you make the decision on Fields. I've been a fan of Fields. I think we should keep him and get Marvin Harrison or trade down, but good God, you cannot. You just can't let. That's 10 in a row. That's all I got, man.
Sounds so deflated, but I feel you, Max. Appreciate the voicemail. Question for you, Dave, real quick. Firing everyone, do you think that's an actual option? Do you think?
I think you only I don't know, man. Probably not, but it's like it really just it all depends on who you have lined up. You don't want to have you just want to be you don't want to cut them all
Has to be an
loose
upgrade.
and not have an upgrade, because Jim Harbaugh would make the most sense if you're going to fire everyone. Let him bring in his staff, but other than that, it's that would be bold, and that would be I don't know. I don't know if you just want to restart this whole thing, especially if you're going Caleb Williams. Maybe you blow it up if you're Ryan Poles and company, but I don't know. I don't think they would go that route, but
I don't think so either. But
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. Who knows? We've seen crazier things in the NFL. We'll find out here in the next 72 hours. It's going to be crazy. Okay, we got a couple more left. PJ here,
Bro, at this point, I say trade Justin away so we can watch him, be better somewhere else, because it's obvious this team doesn't give a fuck about winning. Nigga, nobody showed up today. Nobody played with any heart, anything. We just came there to lose. Nigga, I'm so sick of watching us fucking come to games to lose. This shit it's sad. It's honestly sad. Bring Caleb Williams in. Bring him in. I want to watch this nigga get the shit kicked out of him too for a whole fucking year, and then we'll pick somebody else next year and watch them get the shit kicked out. Bring Shedeur Sanders in. Let's watch this nigga get the shit kicked out of him. Who fucking cares at this point? It don't matter who's back there. The line don't block. The defense can't play man for some reason. I guess niggas are allergic to touching each other. And then it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. This team's a joke. We're a fucking joke. Everybody's laughing at us. This is sad, bro. I'm mad I'm wearing a Bears fucking hoodie right now. Nigga, this shit sucks.
Sorry, that was the funniest one. They must be allergic to touching each other. That's sorry, I was dying off that. Thanks for the voicemail. That helped lifted my mood. So appreciate that, PJ. On to Nick.
Hey guys, really appreciate your coverage this season. You guys did really well. I love the podcast, love the tweets on Twitter and all that, and X, excuse me. But I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed beyond belief. Obviously, I mean there were expectations going into this game and everything, but it's tough when you're going up to Lambeau and your team plays like that. Luke Getsy needs to go first and foremost. I think that's the most important part of this offseason is getting rid of him. He's a plant, should have never left Green Bay, and the Bears should have never hired him. Matt Eberflus, I know he was playing he was doing really well with the defense, and he has a locker room and the culture or whatever, but I don't see this team being serious contenders with him as the head coach. And it sucks to say, Justin Fields, I don't know if that can do that. I don't know if he can do the same thing with another coaching staff. I think it's just smart to just reset everything, try again, build around your new quarterback, build around your defensive cornerstones. You have two really good linebackers. You have Montez Sweat, Pro Bowler, Jalen Johnson, Pro Bowler. Pay him, bring him back. And then you kind of have to start going through the motions, finding another head coach, finding a quarterback that works well. I am really glad I'm not Ryan Poles, and I think Kevin Warren has some really hard decisions to make with his coaching staff. But thanks, guys. Bear down and have a good off season.
I think that's friend of the show, Nick, who does the co-host with Rob.
It definitely sounded like him. That's what I was going to say. Had him on a couple weeks ago. Absolutely sounded like him. It sounded how he talks to. He's very calculated, thought out. I appreciate it. Awesome voicemail.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that he wants to blow it all up. But I mean, at this point,
losing to the Packers will do that to you, man.
Yeah, consistently losing to the Packers. Absolutely. All right, we're going to Mitchell here.
Well, another season in the books. And all I got to say, I've been a Bears fan my whole life, and I'm tired. Meaningless season after meaningless season. I'm tired of rooting for draft picks. I wanted to win today. And every time we play the Packers, we just get shit on. And I'm tired of it. Please, for the love of God, leave Getsy in Green Bay. Leave him there. He's horrible. This is not Fields' fault. I pray that we keep him on the team. But I don't know. A quarterback's not going to fix this. Our offense coordinator is horrible. Our O-line was terrible today. We have no weapons outside of Komet and DJ Moore. So I'm ready to build this team around Fields, but God, I'm tired of these damn Packers losses, man.
Absolutely. Every week, man.
Aren't we all? This next one, I think it's a YouTube channel, maybe Sub to Meme. He didn't give his or she didn't give their first name, but I just want to give a shout out here before we play it. So,
okay, so I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, so I'm not going to swear. But the season has proved that Fields is not the problem. We're having a really fun off season coming up, so I'm really excited for that. But I think hopefully this game solidifies that Eberflus should be gone, Luke Getsy should be gone, this entire O-line should be replaced, and just a slightly more a little bit on the weapon side, and I think we'll be good. Also, our defensive scheming, hopefully it's not like that next year. I don't know. I think it was Eberflus calling the defensive plays. So like I said, hopefully he's gone. And that's all I wanted to say. Shout out to I don't know who I want to shout out in this message, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts. So I don't know what podcast this is on. I'm just literally doing this like in my room. I just clicked on a random tweet, but yeah.
So he probably saw my tweet and was like, "Fuck, man, I gotta get these thoughts out." I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Appreciate it if he ever even sees this. But if you do, it's the BFR podcast. We have voicemails every week. So if you ever need to vent, we do appreciate it. So we have two more left. Sam and Tyler. We'll start here with Sam.
Okay.
It's the same story every single year. Different circumstances, different coaching staff, different quarterback. but we have given up 10 straight losses to the Green Bay Packers. From a general manager that wants to take back the North and never give it back, you cannot look at this unit as anything less than a failure. But the big question is, who's to blame? And at the end of the day, if you don't see how this coaching staff is holding back the Chicago Bears team, then you are blind.
Yeah, he's got a point. So definitely, we said coaching from like earlier in the season too, when we were like really doing bad. We're like coaching. So
Pain.
this last one's from Tyler.
Just pain.
That's it. Short and sweet. Perfect one to end on.
Those are my favorite ones.
I just want to run it back real quick.
Pain. Just pain.
We need Ficky, save that one, rename it if you can in here. Let's just keep that one as a soundbite for the future.
Yeah, that one was great. So appreciate it, Tyler. So, but yeah, first off, thank you all for the voicemails. We really do appreciate it. It helps our show grow. We love interacting with you all. And it's great to hear different opinions too, because even we talked about this, Dave, to start off. What route do you go? There was multiple routes that we heard from people. Some people say fire everybody. Some people say bring Flus back and get a different quarterback. Some said bring Flus back and Fields, build around him. Some say get rid of Flus and build around Fields. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different routes that we can do in this offseason. I don't know what route we're going to go, but I feel pretty positive. I think that Flus is coming back. That's the only one where I feel, and it's not just because I feel that. The reports from Adam Schefter, the reports from Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, it feels like that Flus is going to be back. So I'm just giving y'all a fair warning so you're not surprised, especially for a lot of you people that do not want him back. So,
hey, Vic, before I get to this awesome message from Justin Fields to the city of Chicago, he actually just ended his press conference after the game. Honestly, watch the entire thing. This is just about a 30-second clip I just kind of posted on my Twitter here. But I start a few tweets here, new face gangs, a bunch of, you want to go ahead and get through those, Vic?
Yeah, you start them. Perfect. Thank you. I'll pull them up right now.
And we have
we also have we do. Awesome. Perfect. So our man Tito in here with the super chat.
We have two.
Oh, yeah, perfect. So I'll do the Tito one first. Let's see if it pops up here. Come on. Is it popping up? It's not showing up on my screen.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, perfect.
So it says Tito. Yeah, so fire everyone. You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yep. So from Tito here, $5. Appreciate it. He said, fire everyone. The D got torched. O-line couldn't block, and JF was barely on the field. We need more talent almost everywhere. Y'all do off-season coverage. So first off, thank you for the $5 super chat. I agree. D did not look good. Offensive line could not block, and Fields only had 25 passing attempts, which hard to win that way. To answer your question, do we do off-season coverage? Yes, we do. We will be here. It probably, obviously, since there's not a game, there won't be a pre or post, but we're going to try to be out here at least weekly to have some topics, especially since we have a draft coming up, which is very important, and also free agency. There's plenty of stuff that we're going to be able to discuss.
So much content. We're not going anywhere. We have a lot of stuff. Like I said, a lot of interviews. I don't even want to give up everything up our sleeves, Ficky. Shout out to Flus.
Right.
But it's gonna be a fun fucking off season. So
absolutely. And then this next one, which is painful, I have to read this, but this is actually from one of my good friends here. For his birthday, let me give some info here. For before the season started, his birthday, I bought him a Jordan Love jersey because he's always had Rodgers jerseys, and I was like, hey, look, you need a new quarterback, so I got him Jordan Love. And his joking was like, yeah, I'll probably only have this for a year. So now I read this $5 super chat from Blake that says, thanks for the love. Jersey, Fick, great investment, which is so fucking sad on my end because I was hoping that was going to be a nice little gag gift, and they may have found their quarterback, which is
no, they did.
Remarkable.
They absolutely did.
Oh my god. Okay, and then we'll go through the new face gangs in here. So we have Greg. Go ahead.
I was going to say before we do that, I wanted before the new face gangs hashtags over here, I wanted to bring up says how do I leave a voicemail? I thought it was a good question from Tito. First of all, it's super simple. You can just go to my Twitter, the BFR Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is. The link tree is there. What you'll do is you'll click the link right here. It'll bring up a bunch of things. First of all our socials are here, both Ficky and I, the pod, wherever you can find it. If you go right here and hit the voicemail line, it's going to take you to this right here. And all you have to do, if you have a phone, which I mean, most people do, you're going to hit the record button, and it's as simple as that. You can leave it, I think it's 90 seconds. All we say is just don't say shit that can get you canceled. F-bombs are welcome, just to make it every single one. But at the end of the day, there's really no filter on them. We do our best just to kind of make it, as far as authentic and raw. I mean, we're all fans here at the end of the day. So that's the simplest way. Just go to our link tree on Ficky's Mind, BFR Pod, TikTok, Instagram. It's all there. So good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay, perfect. And then now we'll get to the new face gangs in here. So we do have Greg M, new face gang. Thank you, Greg, for joining.
Hell yeah, Greg.
And I think you may have left a voicemail too. So if that's the same Greg, thank you. Jerome, I know you left a voicemail. So thank you as well, being new face gang. And then we have Ian in here with the new face gang as well. Appreciate that. Ashika, I think you were the first voicemail we did. So thank you, new face gang. So I love that it's new people in here and you're getting on the show. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. Then we have Dugan here with the new face gang as well. And then we have Omni-Man with the new face gang as well. So yeah, only if you have a phone, as if people don't have one in 2024, but that's funny. But yeah, thanks. Thank you all for dropping in the new faces in here. Hopefully you guys will come back and become the OGs. But really do appreciate it. And I think like more than half of y'all dropped a voicemail too. So we appreciate that as well.
And there's another one here from our guy, Jake Swanson, new face gang as well. We're getting a lot of them. So Ficky and I will try to share those throughout the show. But anyways, I want to get to this Justin Fields clip. Before we do, if you're enjoying the pod, we're going over an hour here. If you're enjoying it, like the video. That's one way to support the pod. It's probably the best way. It really just helps us. It's a great way. Like I said, to support the pod, it's free. Hit the like button if you can before we get to this Justin Fields answer. And then also sub if you guys want to stick around for the offseason. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be fun. And then, of course, you can follow the pod on all socials at BFR_pod. So, again, Justin Fields with a message to the city of Chicago. Bittersweet. I'm just going to play it. We'll react then.
You know what I did do. I gave him my all. So whether it's here or not, I have no regrets. Shout out to you guys for making my job a little bit harder. But just to the city of Chicago, love y'all. Appreciate the fans and the support from all the Bears. In case this is my last rodeo with y'all, and just appreciate y'all for everything. So, thanks. You know what I did do.
Man. I mean, but look, that's Fields, right? He's going to be a stand-up individual. He has great character. So it's like, I'm not surprised at all, but I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. Like even with the performance he had, which wasn't amazing, like seeing that like hurts my soul. Like it does suck because he is such a good person. You want to root for him. Like I think one of our voicemail persons said he'll go somewhere else, right? And we'll be rooting for him over there. And that's like, yeah, that will be the case. He'll probably thrive wherever he goes too. So
who knows where he's gonna go? At the end of the day, it's going to be. I will be a fan. I'll be rooting for him. I think there's a lot of potential there. If it's in Chicago, great. If it's not, obviously, it is what it is. So Justin, again, I would encourage you all to go on the Bears YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. The full clip, full interview is there. I think it was like 60 minutes, so I think it goes through Luke Getsy and Justin. I'm sorry, not Luke Getsy, Matt Eberflus and Justin. A lot of questions, a lot of good insight there. Ficky, I don't know if we want to wrap it up here. Any other thoughts before we kind of close? We'll be back probably next week just to kind of close out. We'll probably let Black Monday hit, see if there's any moves. Wait until we get some news. Either way, we'll be back next week, and we'll have some more content on the way. It's gonna be fun.
Sure. I want to give some shout outs because we still have some new face gangs in here. So Jake Swanson, I know you mentioned it, but I still want to put him on here and give him a shout out. We have Different on Twitter with the new face gang as well. Give him a shout out as well. And I think that is Oh, here, we do have a question from Ken that says, what makes you an OG face gang? Basically, someone that we've been on the show before. If we've seen you in the comments, you interact. Like, if you just watch our show over and over. If it's your first time, you're new. If not, we consider you an OG. So we appreciate it, especially since we're new to this as well. What'd you say, Dave? Episode 53, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, we're plugging away over here.
Episode 53. If you're on YouTube, we're almost on at 3,000 subs. It's really growing. But honestly, it's just cool to have a community talk, Bears football with. No team is going to have a bigger offseason than the Bears. So, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, episode 50 fucking 3. I can't wait for 100.
It's been fun.
When do you think we'll get our Super Bowl? What episode?
Oh, that's a good one.
Just guess there.
Okay, so it won't be next year, and it will probably, if we're gonna contend, it'd be the year after that. So we're gonna probably be like episode 180 plus. That'd be my guess.
All right, I'm thinking at least 200, but we'll see.
Hopefully not. It could be 200,
yeah.
But you never know. It's got to be at least 180. It's not happening next year. I don't care if it's Caleb Williams in here or if it's Fields. It's probably not happening next year. But overall, it's been fun, and this season, even with how many lows there were this season, I still feel like it was a good season. My predictions, and I think yours were too, were 7 to 9 wins. We hit 7.
Yep.
With Justin Fields being out 4 weeks. We had some great wins. We had some bad losses. Overall, we improved. Everyone on the team improved. The defense looked pretty good at times. Like, I can't, and to be honest, if we won this Packers game, we'd be just saying everything's great. Everything's great. But it's just this one loss, recency bias. But when we come back next week and we discuss the offseason and things moving forward, I think the position that we are in, this team is going to set us up for success no matter what route we go down, in my opinion. So,
yeah. I guess I have a couple final thoughts I want to say just real quick. First of all, pay Jalen Johnson. Secondly, the refs, I know they had a good game. I thought they were cooking for the most part. The fact that Justin did not get that call.
Crazy.
And I'm not going to bring it up. You guys know, if you watch this game, that hit where he slid, I know it's close for the defense, leaning up, he used his shoulder, but it's like at the end of the day, every other quarterback is getting that call. And Justin even talked about in the presser how he's like, the fact the fact I had to come out should tell you all you need to know about that hit. So for me, that's the other thing. I think that's all of my final thoughts for this one.
Actually, I have one to end on too.
Yeah.
Because you got me going. You know what? Fuck it. I say stick with Fields, trade the draft pick back. You can do a double trade back if needed. I don't care. Stack up on ammo, run it back, get a new coordinator, stick with Flus. Let's get some consistency we haven't seen in a while. Most players on this team from last year have improved in all aspects. Wins, their own personal performance. Like, I think everything, even gets me who's playing a little better. I can understand it.
Hey, Fick, I think your mic is cutting out.
Oh, is it?
Very end. Okay, we're back now. But
okay,
no, I love it. I love it. This is going to be an off season where we're going to have to pick a side. I don't know how long. We don't know how long Fields is going to be here. He could be traded next week. Well, not next week. He could be traded at the end of the season. So, February after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then we got free agency in March, and then of course the draft in April, and then we got the offseason workouts. Which either way, there's going to be an influx of talent, whether it's Marvin Harris Jr., Odunze, Neighbors, Brock Bowers. We don't know. It's going to be an insane season. So first of all, appreciate all of y'all, and we'll be back again with a recap for the season. We'll probably have some grades and everything like that. So we'll be back. No idea if it's Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll be here. So appreciate y'all.
Peace.